The New York Times is reporting the Manhattan District Attorney has begun presenting evidence to a grand jury about hush money payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels during the 2016 presidential election. Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, served 3 years in prison for charges tied to those payments while working for then-candidate Trump. The development signals that District Attorney Alvin Bragg is nearing a decision about whether to potentially charge Trump. Here is what he told us on CNN This Morning just last month. Is that correct, that you are looking to jumpstart that criminal inquiry?
Well, so first I'm going to take issue with the word jumpstart. As I said,
it's the Times word, not ours.
I know, I understand. We have been continuously working with rigor throughout the year. And you're going to be maybe displeased with the answer because we have not confirmed or denied. As you said, that's the Times reporting. Look, we're working on a number of pieces and perspectives with this. Like I said, this is one chapter, an important chapter, but there are a lot of, tentacles, if you will. We're following the facts where they go.
You said to the New York Times and also in other interviews I've heard you saying that this was just a chapter and people shouldn't read ahead in the book. I'm wondering what that means. Is that because that sort of looks like people are saying, like you're saying to people, stay tuned, there's something on the horizon.
So, what I'm saying is, let's pause for the moment as we are. I think it's very consequential, the work that went into this, how ably the people of the state of New York were represented. But as I said back in April, there's other work going on, and we're continuing that. It wasn't paused. We've been doing it.
So let's talk about all this with Maggie Haberman, CNN political analyst and senior political correspondent for the New York Times. This is a big deal, Maggie, because his predecessor, Cy Vance, had brought together a grand jury to look at Trump's broader business practices. The DA, who our viewers just heard from, Alvin Bragg, stopped that, got a lot of criticism, now started this, which hinges on likely the cooperation of Alan Weisselberg, the former Trump CFO, if they can get that, and a difficult legal theory, but it could come with a significant toll to the former president.
That's right. As you note, it's not a slam dunk. It's not clear that this case will definitely end in charges, but the mere fact of the existence of this special grand jury, which means that it's meeting over 6 months as opposed to a 30-day grand jury, is significant and is yet another legal threat to the former president, who is facing probably a number of them. This is also on a topic that he gets very, very sensitive about. We saw him posting on his social media website about it yesterday. This relates not just to payments, but to his family. And so we will see where this goes.
There's other work. He said in that interview, there's other work going on. And he said that a number of times. I think it was during that interview related to the first question because they were wrapping up. Remember, it was the investigation into the Trump, right, into the Trump organization. And then I followed and asked a question. Poppy asked a question, and then we followed again. And he just kept saying, I would not get ahead. There's other stuff going on. So I'm just wondering what this means in Trump world for the entire investigation. And a lot of this, Maggie, we should remember, stemmed from Michael Cohen's testimony to Congress, in front of Congress.
Yeah, look, Michael Cohen is at the center of a bunch of investigations that have taken place over the course of the last several years, but particularly in New York, where he is a key figure. He's a key figure here. He was the key witness in the investigation of Trump's business. And it's worth remembering on that investigation, as you note, the district attorney the current district attorney did not end up bringing charges. One of the prosecutors who worked on that case was very upset about it, wrote a pretty angry resignation letter, and is now writing a book. So I can't totally divorce what Alvin Bragg is saying about ongoing work from the fact of that upcoming book. But I do think that Alvin Bragg wants to signal very clearly to the public and certainly to Donald Trump, you are still under scrutiny.
Yeah, and Michael Cohen, they could say, well, he's a convicted criminal, he's not a reliable person for this. But what's your sense, Maggie, is, we've talked to people in Trump's inner circle all the time of how he's viewing all of these investigations, all of this as he's, now actually doing events on his 2024 run.
This is, Caitlin, the closest that he has come to facing any kind of criminal liability. I don't just mean this case. I mean, across the board, he's facing an investigation, as you know, in Georgia. There are 2 Justice Department investigations. There's this blitz of civil litigation. There's the Letitia James fraud lawsuit that he's facing, the Attorney General in New York. That one's not criminal, but it could still really grind him down. This is the worst sort of spate of legal problems that he has faced in a very, very long time, and he's not happy about it. Now, remember, he tends to look at things strictly through the lens of either how much money he's paying or whether anyone is facing criminal charges. And right now, those are two very real threats to him. So he is not happy. He's focused on the presidential campaign, much more pleasing to him, but that has its own potential hurdles because his support is not where it was.
Yeah, and he and that attorney just got that massive filing by that massive
Yes.
fee that they have to pay as well. That's something that has bothered him, I'm told. Maggie Haberman.